In the previous video, Young-jun promised Miso that he would fulfill her dream of building a family and confirmed once again that he would like to become her husband. However, the cute moment between the couple was interrupted after the woman's father, who was in their apartment and they didn't know it, stood up and said he was against the marriage. I'm Nina, and in today's recap we'll see what's wrong with Secretary Kim. Then young man says he needs to have a man-to-man talk with the vice president, and the two leave Secretary Kim's house, stopping only when they arrive at a bar a few minutes away. In short, their conversation revolves around Miso, and her father realizes how well Young-jun knows his daughter. He gives his blessing for the man to propose to her, but young man's only demands are that he make his youngest very happy and propose in the right way, as she deserves. Since the conversation went well, the two continued drinking, and when they returned to Secretary Kim's house, she had to deal with the very drunk men. For her lover, Miso called her driver to pick him up, and before he arrived, Young-jun declared himself to her, telling her how much he loves her from the moment he met her 9 years ago. The next day, Secretary Kim tells her colleagues in the office that she has decided to stay on, and everyone celebrates. Meanwhile, Young-jun copes with his hangover and starts thinking of a way to propose to her, talking to his friend President Park and even looking on the internet, but he doesn't like any of the ideas. In the evening, Miso goes to dinner with Sara and Ga. The women have also had a few drinks and are very cheerful. Ji ends up getting things off her chest, as the two women had noticed that she was feeling a bit down. The woman tells them that she likes a man, but that at the moment he has revealed that he just wants to focus on his work and isn't thinking about dating. So Sara says that she has to win him over, be more proactive so that he is more interested in her than in her work. And during the drunkenness, when the Secretary Kim goes to the bathroom, the two answer her phone, which turns out to be Young-jun calling to find out how his beloved was. The man's employees said that Miso was already very cheerful and that he should go and pick her up, but when the vice president arrives, the two take his wallet and watch, so that he doesn't take their friend away, and so the fun lasts a little longer. Later, when Young-jun takes his beloved to her house, his secretary Kim declares herself to him on the way, which makes him very happy. The next day, Ga and Sara return the objects they took from him to the vice president, and the two are afraid of being fired, but Young-jun knows how to differentiate between what is done inside and outside of work, which relieves them. But Ga doesn't have such a good day. She discovers that when she got home, she went to Gwinam and recorded a video on his cell phone saying that he should ask her to marry him. The man says he knows she was joking, but the woman thinks this is the best time to tell him she likes him, but the answer is not what she expected. Gwinam doesn't want to be open to relationships at the moment, as he wants to work towards his goal of saving a lot of money, and if he starts dating, he'll have to pamper his partner, and even if he doesn't do these things, the man doesn't want her to live in misery like him, so he thinks it's best not to get involved. In the next scene, we see Young-jun talking to his mother. The news has spread that her youngest is dating Secretary Kim, so she has decided to call her son to her house to tell him some things that are worrying her. Madam Choi doesn't think it would be right for Young-jun to get involved with Miso, as his older brother has recently taken a liking to the woman, and she fears that this will make their relationship, which was improving, worse. Fortunately, Sung-yeon was listening to the conversation and shows up, saying that her brother shouldn't do that, because his secretary Kim had been by Young-jun's side for a long time, and the feelings he had for the woman were fleeting, just because he thought the two of them had been through the trauma together. In this way, the relationship between the two is, for the first time after the accident, flowing in a healthy way, and Sung-yeon even helps him with the proposal, saying that if he focuses on what Miso would like to gain and what he wants to do for her, the answer will come. Then in the evening, Secretary Kim goes to the vice president's house, and when she arrives, there is a path of candles, with 2 tables along it, one with a caramel candy that means a lot to both of them, and the other with a notebook with words, just like the man had seen on the internet and said he thought it was childish. But it wasn't like that. The proposal was beautiful. As soon as Miso entered where she was told, Young-jun was playing on a piano and began to sing as soon as he saw his beloved, then he got down on one knee and proposed, which certainly received a yes in response. The marriage proposal soon spreads to everyone, and as the vice president's mother is very anxious, as it's her first child who's getting married, she decides to go out with Miso and give her a few things as presents. Secretary Kim even tried to deny it, as it was too much, but Madam Choi bought it anyway. The next day, there's a meal between the two families to decide on the date of the wedding, and although Madam Choi is doing it from the heart, Secretary Kim says she can't marry her and wants to give her a car, all the appliances, furniture and jewelry, because it would be too much and the woman doesn't think she deserves that much. Miso was even afraid when she said this, but Youngjoon's parents understood that they were being too much and respected their daughter-in-law's decision. The rest of the dinner went perfectly well, and in a few weeks the couple will be husband and wife. Youngjoon is excited about the wedding preparations and is upset that Miso is more focused on work than on the event. So one way of calming her lover's nerves was for her to take her wedding dress and show it to him at home. The piece is perfect and the groom is delighted. Meanwhile, earlier at work, President Park's secretary accidentally sent chocolates that were meant for another president to Yoo-sik's ex-wife, and in the evening he was rewarded for this oversight. The woman was at his house saying that today was the day he proposed to her in Paris, and the chocolate was the same as the one the man had given her that time, so she missed him and decided to find him. In this way, the two resumed their relationship. Now we see GA. She has bought the food that GWI Nam likes and has decided to take it to him to tell him a few things. Then the woman tells him that he should live more in the present and not worry obsessively about the future, that he can even put off liking someone, but he shouldn't do that with his self-love, whether it's stopping wearing old clothes or buying a nice meal every now and then. And then she leaves. The next day, Seare and Yang decide to make their relationship public, so they go to the office and tell everyone, but their colleagues reveal that they already knew. In the evening, Miso gets emotional with her sisters about how much they wish their mother were alive to attend the wedding that will take place the next day, and the girl's father arrives with a surprise for them, as the man who never cuts his hair has decided to do it to look presentable at the wedding. Youngjoon also went to have a moment with his family, and for the first time the brothers' relationship has been going well for a while. We've reached the wedding day and it's off to a good start for GA, as GWI Nam has decided to listen to her advice and is ready to start dating her and live a better life. Now let's move on to the ceremony, which is beautiful. The two look stunning, and seeing the memory of when they escaped from that terrible situation to what they're living today is wonderful. What did you think of this season? I hope you enjoyed the summary. Leave your suggestions in the comments and subscribe. If you liked the video, like it and share it to help me. Until next time.